Right, boys, I have a task. Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, you're both going
yes.
to take in turns, right? You're a YouTuber,
Okay.
and you're going to do an intro for a video, okay? This podcast, it has to be high and energetic. Ready?
What the
3, 2, 1, go.
Who goes first?
Go.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Chilling Podcast. What the fuck is up? In this episode, I got together my two friends and I forced them to play a video game for a month. And that game we'll mention later on. It was very cool, and I forced them to play it for a month, and they had no other choice. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, otherwise you will have bad luck for 10 years. Okay.
Tyler won the competition. He did the call to action. Bonus point to Tyler.
Was that it? Was that all that was for?
Cock and balls.
Yes.
Hello,
everyone. Here we are, back again.
And now everyone has left the video.
Yeah,
We have no one else
I
left.
didn't really
now.
expect you to do it actually at the same time.
Well, you said to do it at the same time.
Hey.
So, for context, before this, we were like, oh, we usually have a person that intros the video. And Harley was like, I have an idea. I just need you boys to go along with it. We had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We went in that blind. I was like, that was uncalled for, man. That was
Hey,
messed up.
and to pat ourselves in the back, I think we did quite well, Tyler.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's pat ourselves on the back.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice. All right, shall we get to it then?
Yeah, let's get to it. Tyler, go.
Oh. Yo, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Yo, it's month. What month is it?
The seventh.
Wait.
It's the 7th. Guys, it's the 7th. Guys, it's August. I'm frazzled, man. Shit, this has been the most confusing fucking intro I think I've ever done.
Hey,
Yeah.
after top last time.
It's August. We Augusting. We're chilling. And we're chilling. What did you guys do this month? That's what we normally do.
You know what? I'll go first.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay.
Well, this month was actually quite exciting for me, especially because it was my birthday.
Yay!
My birthday! Way!
Hey, happy birthday!
Yeah, thank you. I'm 24 now.
Better than 24.
Oh, we'll find out next year. But yeah, 24. I went back home with the family, took the lady out, had some sightseeing, ate some nice food. It's fun to be a tourist in my own country sometimes. So
Lit.
I'm Portuguese for people who don't know, hence the weird accent.
I never noticed.
So yeah, that's what I did for a week. And you know what, guys? I know I'm always quite a bit anal about the homework we have.
Right.
But I'll have to be honest and come clean and say I haven't watched JoJo. I really just dropped it because it fell off my routine. Because on Netflix it only has the first 3 parts, and what I used to do was watch it on my way to work, and that was like my routine, and that was sick. But for whatever reason, I just kind of dropped it because part 4 is not on it. So I was like,
Which is strange because they have every other part except.
Yep.
yeah, like
It's
what
just
people
part 4's
argue
too
is the best
powerful
one.
for Netflix, so unfortunately,
suppose.
it's just its awesomeness was just too strong for Netflix to handle, so they just couldn't put it up.
Yeah, man. I don't know, but maybe I'll pick it up again.
Well,
However,
Boo Tom, you failed.
yeah, I failed. L for this.
But how about this?
What's that?
You've given JoJo a try. Maybe it's time to give something else a try for next month. I think it's time we set you on the path of normie anime, and I mean this with no disrespect because I fucking love this anime. So I think it's Demon Slayer time.
It is.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I think it's time to watch Demon Slayer.
I will be totally honest. I know nothing of it. The only thing I do know is I watched a video recently from the Corridor People, where they analyzed a cool VFX shot by them. I think in one of the recent episodes. But I know I have zero context. There was a big explosion. That's all I know.
Okay. All right.
That's all I've seen. So
Okay.
I know nothing else of them, other than they probably slay demons.
Yep.
Maybe.
It'll be so disappointing if they don't.
Wow. Go watch it and find out.
Could you imagine? Imagine it's just like a cooking fucking anime.
That would be pretty funny.
I will say I did continue with something that I wasn't tasked to do. However, my partner has been really motivating me to do it. I did it a lot throughout my holiday. Is read the book.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've been halfway through Wolfsong. The way I'm doing it is again with Audible and stuff, and I'm reading 2 chapters a day at least.
Nice.
And yeah, just getting me through it. But here's something I'm gonna say, and this is quite a bit of maybe a bit of a sensitive subject. So
okay.
I'm gonna allow myself to cut it here if we all agree.
Okay. Oh God, wait, how many minutes in? God. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Disclaimer.
So, disclaimer. Okay. Ready? Right. So this book is quite good, right?
Yeah.
Lovely, right? Mm-hmm. However, there's a romance in the book where one character is 23 years old and the other one is like 17. Okay. And like and like they've known each other since one was 16 and the other one's like 10 or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
And they have this fucking will they won't they shit since the beginning, right?
Okay.
And they eventually do kiss once when one's 23, the other one's 17, right? And
big
like
yikes.
I'm reading, that's big yikes, right? And I'm like, the book would be no different if the character was just a few years older, or the other character was a few years younger. There would be no fucking difference. And this is not just for like this book. Fucking so many different pieces of media that are doing this or that I've seen like this year.
Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, it's not just from this year, but like JoJo has that fucking episode of the fucking girl almost like awfully naked, but she's like 11 or whatever the fuck she is. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why that? And like Ace Attorney in the second game. This is just really specific things I'm remembering.
Okay.
Like this girl who's fucking 16 and she's getting married. Like I think it's an American character as well. So it's like she's getting married to this fucking 22-year-old guy or whatever the fuck. Regina, I think it's his name. It's like, why? Why is this a thing? Just make him slightly older. It makes no difference to the plot. Or younger, like the counterpart or whatever. It makes no difference. There you go. That's my rant of the pod. I wanted to talk about it. We might cut it. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
To be honest, I was more infatuated with the car alarm that was going on in the background.
Was there a car alarm?
There was for a little bit, but it's fine.
It's fine. Enjoy the car alarm. If there is one,
it was fitting, I guess. The alarm.
Yeah,
true.
About,
it was alarming behaviour.
I mean, my question is: there any like plot significance? Like, go back to the book,
there isn't.
or is it just? Is it set? What time period is it set in? Is it modern? Is it like?
It's like maybe early aughts, maybe, right? Like maybe, but I think not really because I have phones and shit. So like, I think. It's kind of fine. Like, it's not fine, sorry. It's kind of recent. And, like, the only plot thing, I guess, that it has is, like, people do recognize, this is kind of weird, right? And it's like, oh, yeah, no, we only do anything when he turns 18 or whatever. Which I still think is kind of weird, man. Like, it's kind of weird to have to wait for a partner to be, like, legal to do anything with them. But I think but that doesn't matter because they still like kiss when he's still underaged.
Yeah. I think it's fair. Like I think it's just very weird, like bizarre, like writing, like
decision. That's a decision.
Yeah,
it's a choice you've made.
Like it's very. Like, there's been a few things, like, I think it's especially prevalent in, like, animes and shit, like...
Yeah, that's the one warning I keep getting, yeah.
Last year or something, like, the one that blew up Oshinoko. Like, Don't get me wrong, nothing, like... As far as I'm aware or remember, nothing strange happened, but, like, it's just a bit uncomfortable, because, like, the whole plot is, like... Sorry for people who don't get spoiler, fuck you. He dies, right? And he gets reborn.
Right.
but he gets
common
like
trope
reborn...
in many animes, which I'm bored of. But
yeah, but he gets like reborn as the son of like this pop idol that he really liked.
Right.
And
he
just
remembers?
really, he has full recollection
so
of
he's
his
like
past
a grown man in a baby's body, right?
in a baby's body, and it's just
Right.
very
Boss baby
uncomfortable, like him growing up, and then like it just feels weird because it's like
fantasizing about their own mother,
yeah. And if if you think about it from a logical standpoint, if this guy gets into a relationship with someone around the age of him, he's got a full another life worth of like
experience
of age on top of them. So even then, it just feels wrong.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just dropped that anime.
And also,
that
there's another plot with the sister, right? Because they may or may not have known each other in a past in their last life, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense. And now they're kind of like figuring out that they don't know, but they've both been reincarnated from this idol that they both enjoyed, right? And then there's a little bit of weird things going on with there. I mean, this is only from the first season. There's the new ones come out. I mean, I'm not going to touch it. It's not for me. There was one bit of the plot that was interesting, and then I just got bored because it didn't really evolve, so I dropped it. The animation was nice though, but other than that,
it's just a bit like it's just that weird like thing. There's always that one thing in media, like you're always watching something, and there's always just that one thing that's a common thing at the moment, and you just go, ugh.
Oh yikes!
Just a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I even start because like for whatever reason I always really enjoyed the show Big Mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I enjoyed the first couple of seasons. It was like funny, like kids being so crude. I guess
relatable things.
Yeah, right. But then it got like really weird, man. And it's like, hold on, if I think really about this, these are adults playing these kids, being this, I guess there's no other word than horny, like these really like horny kids. It's like, and I'm just watching this. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, this is borderline kind of like not okay. I think I don't know, man. It's just weird. Just fucking
look. If you're watching it and you're not beating your meat to it, I think you're okay.
Oh Jesus Christ, man. I will say maybe the ones that like the show that does like, I guess, teenage relationships the best until a point was Sex Education.
Yeah.
That show. That was great. Because it was still played by adults. Like, but like all the stuff.
Yeah.
Was like, it was fine. I don't think there was any, not that I remember right now, maybe there is, but there isn't anything weird like that. Like big age gaps in terms of like.
Right.
Shit like that, but man,
yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
That's what like this is something like since reading the book like whilst on holiday and stuff. It's something that I wanted to bring up on the podcast. So thank you guys for allowing me to do.
It's all right. It's all right.
Ah, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyway, how's your month, guys?
Yeah, Harley, do you want to go next? What did you do
I
this
could
month?
go next. What the hell did I do this month?
Great question.
Yeah, I've picked up a new book, gang. We come back strong.
Oh my god.
Wasn't
let's
it
go.
the sequel to the other one?
No. I thought
Gasp.
I'll take a break. And I did the thing, right? If we harken back, hello fellow listeners, to when I was reading Hideo Kojima's book.
Yeah.
Well, the first few pages of it.
Yeah.
And his advice is saying going into a bookstore and picking up something that piques your interest and then giving it a go. Kind of did that. This book is, I found by myself. I didn't have any other media being like, oh, this is based on a book, have a look at this, or blah, 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 or finding it online. I just generally saw the cover. I was like, oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And I feel like
Nice.
I'm enjoying the read more because obviously I'm going in completely blind.
Mm-hmm.
But the book is called The Shadow.
Twilight.
No.
Twilight.
Sorry, I
It's
had
called
to.
50 Shades, dog. No. It's called The Shadow Glass, okay?
Ooh.
Basics. So let me describe the cover. So the cover is it's the shadow glass like at the bottom, but the font is like the font from the Dark Crystal. That's what's the main thing that piqued my interest. I was like, ooh, fancy cover. But then there's like this mirror or this frame with like these little like I don't know what they're called. I think they're kind of rip-offs of Skeksis, which are the villains of the Dark Crystal, right? And then in the centre is this fox character. And I was like, interesting. And the way the book is like decorated, as it's like an old kind of like VHS kind of cover, like it's purposely got little like scrapes and bumps on it to make it look like that. So that's what piqued my interest. Like, ooh, interesting. And basically, it's well, strangely, there's a reason why it has the font like the Dark Crystal to give that nostalgic view. But basically, it's about the son of a director who made a similar like puppet film to like the Dark Crystal, whatever, and it's called The Shadow Glass, and it didn't do very well, but it exists.
Right.
And their father is passed away, and then the son is left to deal with his belongings and stuff like that. And then basically there are the son goes into the house and then hears like scratches in the attic, and then he goes in the attic and looks at all like the puppets and memorabilia. All right, closer down the line there's like more scratches and it's like alluding to what's going on. You think you know where this is going, right? They go up and the puppets are alive. What? So is this man tripping? What's going on? But that's how far I've got. I've got to the part in the book where things are actually happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm only like 4 or 5 chapters in. The chapters aren't too big, which is good. Well, because I do feel like I am making progress. But yeah, it's a book that I was really, when I bought it, I was really excited to get into it, and I like read through it quite frequently from when I can. But yeah, it's going down pretty well. So if you're a fan of like Jim Henson nostalgic stuff, like Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, kind of that stuff, down that road, I'd give it a go if you want to. There's also an audiobook version. But yeah, so that's the book I've read. So I've actually made progress in that regard. I'm doing more Warhammer, I guess.
Oh yeah. Tell us about that.
So yeah, I mean, I've been trying to get into this fucking hobby for like a year and a half. And I do just have what they call a pile of shame, where you've bought things and that you haven't or you've either put them together, not painted, or done anything with them, which is what I've done pretty much. Mainly because the reasoning is most of the hobbies that I have are like or sort of to do with friends or to play with friends. Now, in this instance, not many of my friends or I know people who would like to play Warhammer or do Warhammer, right? So I think it's been a hard hobby for me to get into because I have no other drive to do it with someone. But then I was like, no, I've spent this money. I actually enjoy painting. I find it very therapeutic. So there's a game shop near me, and they were doing like a beginners for Warhammer day. So I went. And it went okay. I learnt how to play the game, at least. Kind of know. I can understand why a lot of people are deterred from playing the game, because first time there, it does seem like a fuck ton to remember, man. There is so many rules and so many different ways of going. It's just like, and then these people are here teaching you, talking to you like, they've done it their whole lives. I'm so impressed with their memory. If I was like, oh, if this guy can't move, or there's an ability that acts here, it's like, oh my god, whoa, slow down, kind of thing. But yeah, it's okay. The simplicity of the game is easy to remember. It's just the other added on abilities and stuff like that, right? And depending what army you choose, they all have different things and yada yada, right? But, I mean, I was hoping to meet new people. Didn't really do that, sadly. I played a game with someone, but they were a lot older than me, and a lot of people there were a lot older than me. Makes sense. Warhammer is a semi-expensive hobby to get into, right? But I feel like I think that is also another deterrence that it is, like, quote-unquote expensive. It is, but if you just get some models and slowly build them up. Don't get it all in one go. Like, you can just have models of like one unit and you can play a game like that, right? And paint them up. And then once you find you have the soldiers you have, like for a certain amount that you need, right? That's all you need. And then as each edition comes out, once the starting is the hardest point, I think, of getting and collecting the minis, and the models, then, you know, keeping it up. Because once you have your army, you have your army. That's it. Mm-hmm. You don't need to change unless there's a new model or you want to make your army a little bit bigger. You can do that. But to play the game, you don't really need that much. But yeah, there's my pitch. If anyone wants to try Warhammer, or you don't have to play the game. This is the
call to action. It's a call to action.
This is the call
if
to
you play,
action.
If you play Warhammer, message Harley. And comment down below. Yeah. Harley will get in touch.
Yes. But you don't have to play. You can also paint. And that's also a great little hobby to take you off the screen or something. Or even to listen to an audiobook whilst you paint. You know, doing something if you're the kind of person that needs to do... like, I've fallen into a trap if I can't play a game like Minecraft without fucking watching something in the background or something like that. It's a curse now, and I hate it, and I need to get rid of it. Of playing games with something on in the background. It's stupid. But yeah, you don't have to do one task and have something in the background. You can just paint and listen to a music. Or something else, you know.
Or a podcast.
Or a podcast. This podcast right here. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's my Warhammer rant. Yeah, that's me done, I think. There's nothing else.
Yeah, you done?
Yeah.
Yeah, you done.
Are you done now?
You're freaking done.
Yeah, you can go.
On. Sorry, that came off very aggressive. My apologies. What have I done this month? I've done a lot, actually. This has been a busy month. I think the most blaringly obvious thing is I have finally finished and uploaded the first ever Chillin' Deep Dive.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, go see now.
Yeah.
Well,
how have we not talked about it yet? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. This is it. The first ever deep dive has been uploaded onto the channel. If you haven't seen it already, go ahead and give it a watch.
After this,
let me know what you
think.
After
this, you know. Yeah.
It's 9 minutes. You can whack it on while this is going on. Probably
at the same time.
At the same time.
You can watch them at the same time. Be the ultimate fan.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was a really fun experience because this is the first time I've ever like scripted, edited, like voice acted kind of like in a video.
Yeah.
Like doing like voiceover work this is the first time I've ever done like anything like that, or literally learning to edit for this. We spoke about it a bit last month, but yeah, it was just like a really cool experience to just kind of test out my knowledge and just to see what I could do. Like if I had the resources, what I could make. And it was cool to make something that I was really passionate about, and like talk about something I was really passionate about, and it sort of lit a flame like underneath me in terms of creativity, and it's kind of opened up a few doors and being like, maybe I can pursue this and do like, you know, other deep dives in the future. Like I was quite pleasantly surprised, like on the channel it's done really well, like it's done quite well, and I'm very happy and very chuffed that it has done what it's done, and I'm looking forward to sort of making maybe things adjacent to it in the future. Like I currently have some ideas rolling around right now, but yeah, it's been really cool and really like eye-opening. So thank you if you have watched the video. It means a lot. It's cool to see people interact with it and like know of its existence. It's kind of a cool thing. Like I kind of went into it just kind of really just doing it for my own sake, just to kind of see what I could do, and it's cool to see that other people were able to see that as well and kind of interact with it, so that's cool. Yeah, it's been really sick seeing that, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to what's next. But apart from the video, like I've done quite a few other things as well, like
what,
you know, I've been playing The Craft. You know me. Me and The Craft. We go way back.
Yes, of course.
You know, we talked about the server last episode. I've been playing the server quite religiously and, you know, making progress on that. I've been watching quite a few things. A very important movie came out recently. That we've all managed to see now, which is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
An amazing movie. One of my all-time favorite MCU movies ever made. I genuinely fucking love this movie. I love Deadpool. I'm really starting to love Wolverine. I was never really a big Wolverine or X-Men guy, but like since like the start of this year with X-Men 97 and just like Marvel media in general, they've kind of been doing a big like campaign or a big push to kind of push forward a lot of like the X-Men stuff this year, I feel. Like you've had X-Men 97, there's the Wolverine game is still a thing. You know, it's been 3 years and there's been absolutely no news since, but you know, still going strong. There's just been a bunch of stuff coming out and like a bunch of fun like X-Men media, and it's just been really cool interacting with that for like the first time, like being able to watch X-Men 97 and being introduced to the X-Men for the first time. And that kind of led me down a rabbit hole of like watching some other X-Men oriented content like on YouTube and stuff, just learning a bit more about the characters, and it's just been really cool to see. And that kind of came to fruition with like Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine. And so it was really cool watching that movie and like finally kind of being in the know-how of like the X-Men now. Like that's really fun. And I definitely think I'm going to be looking into more X-Men related stuff in the future, because I feel like this year it's been a really big like turnaround.
Yeah.
And I've actually, because like I feel like in the current state of the MCU, right? I think a big thing that's important is like the Avengers are kind of done now.
Yeah.
They're kind of gone. They've done their thing. Endgame happened. The Avengers are gone. Like, they're kind of died out, to be honest. Like, they've been trying to push this whole, like... Well, they haven't really done anything with it, but, like, the sort of newer Avengers, like, the newer age of Avengers.
Yeah, I keep on hearing about that, but... Yeah.
But, like, absolutely nothing has happened. And it's kind of been more of a...
It's not going to hit as hard. Like,
no,
because it's the thing, like, I've said this quite a lot, you know, people are fans of Marvel because they closely associate with the characters of Marvel. Like Iron Man and Captain America, for example, are like these two very big characters that everyone sort of loves, like, from the MCU. And so having movies without them now is just kind of be a thing that people, it's affected their like enjoyment of it, if you get what I mean. Like, we're introducing new characters now, but it's the kind of thing of, like, well, you know, the classics, like Iron Man and Captain America, they aren't here anymore, and it kind of sucks. And I think that was a big drawing point, because everyone was sort of familiar with the Avengers, and now we're kind of having to learn and trying to get used to these new characters that are, like, there but not quite there yet. They haven't reached their point where they are, like, becoming fan favorites, if you get what I mean.
But I like, my thing with that is just, like, I don't mind new characters being introduced and shit, like, and being more popularized. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy, it was done very well. People love them now. Like, before James Gunn, they were trash or whatever, from what I was told. But now they're fan favorites. But it just feels like they aren't giving enough thought on how they are actually introducing these characters. Like,
it's just, there's not really, it's been a kind of thing where they've kind of just been doing these things of like, oh, we'll just adapt this character and like introduce these characters now that the X-Men, or not the X-Men, the Avengers aren't here. And like, they're like, all right, cool, you know, here's this person. It's like, cool, but they're not doing anything with them. Like, they just kind of do it and then they never talk about it ever again. For example, like in the early days of the MCU, right, you'd have movies that led into other movies quite seamlessly. Like, Iron Man was a good push to introduce the rest of the MCU towards the end of the movie, like the end credits scene and stuff. Like, they did a really good job of kind of weaving them together. But I feel like since Endgame, it's been really terrible.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of... probably a lot of things behind the scenes that obviously we don't really know or are aware of. I think there's, like, probably having a lot of interference with what they're planning.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I
mean, it sucks. Yeah.
Like,
because Kang, I think the idea of Kang was going to be cool, maybe.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's something that you said, Tyler, the other day, was like, now Ant-Man and Quantumania, or Ant-Man the Wasp and Quantumania, whatever the fuck, is gonna be the Kang movie.
Yeah.
And somehow it's fucking Ant-Man fucking, killed or dealt with Kang by himself?
Yeah.
What?
There you go.
But it was just a really annoying thing where they just didn't really go anywhere, and it sucked because obviously we've been very focused on the multiverse, like in media. And I am an avid multiverse enjoyer. I love, I grew up playing the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Like, I love that, like, the idea of, like, what if scenarios and, like, kind of, like, trying to push past the normal norms of, like, what these superheroes, what we know them as, like, pushing them to, like, oh, this is cool, this is a completely different, like, take on this character. And it's cool to see that stuff, but I think, and, like, the new wave of the, like, Phase 4 or whatever was kind of building up to that. But I felt their execution has just been absolutely terrible. Like, Multiverse of Madness was
oh my god,
bullshit.
Don't get me fucking started on...
We've had horrible multiverse movies.
They didn't understand there's so many good things you could have done. It's so easy.
So many. I know there was so much possibility with the idea of the multiverse, but it just kind of turned into a thing of cheap cameos and nothing more. And it really sucked. It really fucking sucked. Like, the only thing, which is really funny because I feel like the most blessing and, like, both, like, blessing and the curse on the Marvel universe was Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Because, like, Into the Spider-Verse 1, like, introduced, I think, everyone to, like, be like, oh, this multiverse thing's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Like,
actually,
and then, and then, like,
because they did it properly. They did
it properly. And then all of the, the big guys at Marvel or whatever in media were like, this is cool. This we should do more of this because this movie did so well.
Yes.
And then it just kind of turned into an utter shit show. And it's funny because one of the best examples of the multiverse was one of the, like, first people to properly do it. Like, it's really funny to me because it was just both a blessing and a curse at the same time, because it cursed this new wave of the multiverse where people tried to do that but just failed miserably.
I mean, and also the bandwagon of every other fucking media that isn't Marvel is trying to copy Marvel, so everything has to be now multiverse related.
Yeah.
And
like,
I think I've said it before on the pod, but it's, I hate it.
Yeah.
If I hear the word multiverse, another thing, I turn it off. I'm like, nope, I'm good. I can't be arsed. Mate, do something original. Can we have just a simple story? Can we go back to simpler times, please? We don't have to be big. We don't have to do a multiverse. Just do a villain, a good guy versus villain, big boom, happy days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't we just have something simple?
It really sucks. But I think the best movie to do it, like, recently, like, was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I agree.
This movie was in many ways a love letter to Marvel fans and kind of like the apology movie, I feel like. Where, like, this movie just kind of took whatever a lot of people's gripes were with this whole multiverse thing and kind of did its own thing and kind of did it properly.
Yeah.
Like, actually, like, took into time to consider what characters they were bringing in and how they were doing it and, like, how they would execute those characters. And it's been a really, like, amazing experience. And yes, there are cameos, but there were cameos that there were thought put behind it.
Yeah.
Like, we had The Flash. I can't remember when that came out. But The Flash introduced...
That came out this year?
Reintroduced Michael Keaton's Batman. So. No, it was not this year.
Was it not?
It reintroduced Michael Keaton's Batman, right?
Yes.
But then put zero thought into how or why. He just kind of was there.
Yeah.
And then Supergirl was just kind of there. And and then Zod was just kind of there. And then all the other Supermen were just kind of there. Like, it just kind of happened. And there wasn't much, like, real explanation or thought put into it at all. But I think
it was more like
the Deadpool Wolverine movie, they did a better job.
Jangle the keys.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Oh, look, it's Thingy from Thingy. It's like, oh, look. Don't worry about our plot. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
This is the shit thing of just bringing them back for the shitty cameo and nothing more.
I mean, we did mention it in the last podcast just briefly with the Nick Cage thing.
Oh, yeah.
Superman Nick Cage.
Like, they just kind of just did this shit.
That was a thing. That was just all AI.
Yeah. It's just all AI. That was wank. Like, that shit just really pissed me off. Like, And it's probably, in my case, like in my head, probably like even worse of a multiverse movie than Multiverse of Madness. Like, they were just terrible movies. And everyone's just not been doing the multiverse
justice.
Like, any justice. But Deadpool Wolverine did a really good job at, like, actually finally doing it right. And it will probably be one of the last movies to do so, because we're, like, approaching the end of the multiverse now.
I mean...
It just sucks.
I don't know. I think because I have the feeling that now, at least until Avengers Doomsday or whatever it's called now, I think the multiverse is still definitely going to be a thing.
It's a thing until the end of Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I feel like Doomsday is also going to have elements of it.
Yeah.
Because I believe Secret Wars is setting up also Doomsday. From what I understand.
Oh, wait, I swear it's Doomsday then Secret Wars.
Isn't it the other way around? Ah, fuck it. Whatever.
I think it's Doomsday.
Well, we all know what happens at the end of Secret Wars, so...
Yes.
Can't really set much up before that.
Well,
actually, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, if you know, you know. If you don't, well, watch the movie.
If you know, you know. If you don't, no, well, shit.
Well, there's something that I know, and Harley, I think we played the game this month or something.
Oh my god,
we did something this month. We did something.
Hold on. I'm getting a call. Hold on. Hi, I'm doing the same joke from last time.
For fuck's sake.
Fuck you, it took me so long to edit this.
Yeah, that took so long to... You're not doing this
I
again.
don't care. Here we go. Oh my god. We played Metal Gear Solid. Colonel.
Yeah, we did.
Colonel. We played Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, we played Metal Gear Solid.
We played Metal Gear Solid.
By god, it was fucking beautiful.
Yeah, do you want to go first? I feel like...
Do I want to go
first?
I mean... Wait. Let's give the game a proper introduction.
Yeah.
Who even made the game?
Yeah, go, Harley, go.
Oh, the daddy man known as Hideo Kojima.
And the company
Video game
Konami.
daddy man. Hideo Kojima.
Beautiful. Bless up.
And the company Konami. Yes.
Well, don't talk about that. Anyway,
but it was made by them. It was.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I mean, fucking. Anyway, so Metal Gear Solid. Tyler, for those who don't know what Metal Gear Solid is, explain it. Explain it like a few sentences.
It's my... Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Just explain it.
He kind of put me on the spot. I was expecting him to do it. No. But then, how do you explain Metal Gear Solid? Metal Gear Solid is kind of like the video game version of an action movie. Mm-hmm. One of the first, like, proper action espionage games ever made. All from, shoehorned by the mind Hideo Kojima, who created this kind of like... Yeah, it kind of was very much just like a movie. Like, it is an action sneaking game where you are put on this island to sort out this mission and stop the bad guys, yada yada yada. And you're like kind of like army, like military movie. Like, you kind of got like all this special techno sci-fi gear. You're going around sneaking on the island, taking down enemies. It's just the whole game is one giant fucking sneaking mission. Pretty much. And then you've got really cool boss fights along the way. You play as Snake, voiced by David Hayter, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
You kind of just go on this journey, this crazy journey that just kind of spirals into all different sort of directions. As you go. Like, you start on this simple sneaking mission, but things certainly take a change. I'll definitely say that.
There you
go. Yeah, that's the basic idea.
Yeah, it was more than 2 sentences. It's like a page essay, but you're used to this now after your video, so it's fine.
Right. Yeah. Look, I don't know how to explain Metal Gear Solid in 2 fucking sentences.
Yeah, well,
it's a stealth game.
It's a stealth game.
But is it just a stealth game?
And you stop the terrorists from blowing up the world. There you go.
Yeah, fuck you. Put on the spot.
Yeah, I feel like you just kind of took my words and then just kind of condensed it down.
Yeah, that was the idea. But it's okay.
Fucking.
Well, guys, how much did you know about Metal Gear Solid before coming into actually playing it?
I know he's in Smash in multiple versions.
Yes.
I knew he has a dump truck. I know that. I knew he used explosives. I knew it was about sneaking. I knew it was a stealth game. I watched you play like maybe for a couple of hours once he streamed once, but I couldn't tell what the fuck was happening. I knew it was an old game. I knew it was made by Hideo Kojima. I knew there was different types of snake. That was liquid. I knew that was a liquid one. Yeah. I didn't know. I knew of Big Boss, but I had no idea how they were connected. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it.
Yourself, Tyler?
Not much.
Not much. Good.
Fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. Sort of
I'm keeping it short now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. There we go.
You happy now?
Yeah.
What about? I mean, you
Me,
played the game.
I mean, my story's a bit longer.
Go on, yap.
I will. I gladly will. Because I'm hosting. Here we go.
Host doesn't even explain his own game.
Huh?
Got him.
What?
Fucking got him.
Nothing.
No, it's fine. My attempt of getting everyone involved. No, it's fine. All right. So I was introduced Metal Gear Solid by my father, because this is one of his favourite games of all time. And what would you do is share that with your children. And that's all I've known. This time was the first time playing all the way through it, but then again, I kind of already knew all the tricks to it because I learned from my dad. I know vaguely the whole story, but it was just introduced to me, and I've watched my dad play, and then I played a little bit when I was younger, but sometimes I got stuck because, I mean, as you guys probably could tell, you could easily get stuck on the game and just give up on it. But yeah, this is the first time of me playing as a big boy, doing it all the way through properly.
Oh, I think it's fair to say I'll just say it for myself. I personally played this game on easy because, again, I went on holiday, so I didn't have a lot of time to play it. But I did finish the game.
There's no shame in playing on easy, guys. Like, I'm just gonna say that right now.
So they had the person also played it on easy.
I did always play on easy because I'm not good at video games, and that's okay.
Fair. That's okay.
These guys are a bunch of fucking pussies because they played it on easy, and I'm the real one, and I played it on normal.
Hey, look, if you want that win, you can take it. There you go.
And I will take that win.
I'll say, even on easy, I was struggling with.
Yeah, exactly. It is a difficult game. Now, this actually is on record of the oldest game we've played on the podcast so far.
True.
When did this game come out?
It came out, Tyler. It came out in 1998.
1998. Yeah, I had a feeling.
Do you want to know what games came out that year?
Oh yes, please.
Ah, good.
Yes.
Because I prepared it earlier.
Oh look, segue. There you go.
All right, here we go. Oh my god, here we go. So, Resident Evil 2 came out. All right.
Ooh, banging game.
Yep. Banjo-Kazooie.
Oof, banging game.
The first
next month's game, actually.
The first Baldur's Gate game.
The first Baldur's Gate. Yeah. Oh, I heard the third one's really good.
Yeah. And The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oof, banging game.
Yo, that's crazy. Actually,
Half-Life.
Banging game.
StarCraft.
Game.
I don't know anything.
Fallout 2.
Ooh, not 3. So quite a lot of games.
A lot of games, a lot of bangers, you know.
But yeah, 1998 was stacked.
Yeah, this was the year of gaming.
PlayStation game.
How long did it take people to finish the game?
10 hours and 38 minutes in total.
Fair. For me, it took me 12 hours.
It took
2011.
me 12, almost like very close to 13 hours or 6 minutes off.
Fair enough. There you go.
And I don't know if you, Harley, you know what the meaning about the code names are, but we also got code names. I got a mongoose. I'm a mongoose.
I think codename is it's like your overall ranking.
You get it depending on the difficulty and how quickly you beat the game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
What'd you get?
Well, I got. What did I get? Puma.
Oh yeah. So that's what we got. There you go.
Guys, an important question I wanted to ask is, what was it like playing this game, keeping in mind that it is very old? So obviously it looks a lot different, and you can see its age in the game.
Yeah, this game has, I think, well, here's the thing, right? Gameplay-wise, I actually, for some reason, enjoyed the gameplay a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt, in my experience, it was really smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually felt really good playing it. There were definitely moments where maybe I would have been annoyed with certain sections for certain reasons or whatever, but like overall, like, it's funny to me to think that this is a game made in 1998 because this felt great.
Mm-hmm.
This felt better than Kingdom Hearts 1 in my opinion.
More.
Like, I enjoyed
Whoa.
this shit. Like, that Kingdom Hearts 1's gameplay pissed me off, and this game, which is like older, just made me feel better somehow. Like, maybe it's just because it was simpler, complex at the same time.
Yeah.
But everything, like, I didn't have gripes, like, when I was playing it. I don't know. It felt quite good.
The only problems I had with the controllers is when I just was an idiot. If you get what I mean. Like, accidentally pressing the crouch button and laying on the floor and then be like, oh, fuck, now everyone's shooting me. Like, that's my own doing.
The big thing is, like, the problems that you would encounter are problems that are probably ultimately caused by your own fault.
Like, or also, like, trying to hug the wall and then it just, like, goes to the, like, hugs the wall. Like, you put your back against the wall. You're like, no, I don't want to do that, you fucking idiot. Like, kind of thing when you're trying to run away or something like that.
Yeah, you just kind of do the wrong thing, or you just make a slip up, or you, like, you know, you're reckless and you get yourself spotted or some shit, and it's just kind of like, all of it's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
The way, like, the game is like, made and programmed is it's very, like, literal, in a sense, where it's like, this guard's looking this way, you know, if you walk in the path of that guard, he's gonna fucking see you. And, like, there are moments where this game is also very generous, because you could just be walking right behind someone, and as long as you're not in that cone of vision, it's like, you're great.
You're fine.
You're doing fine. Like, it's very generous at points. It felt, like, pretty nice. It was cool. I never experienced much of, like, the first-person mode, but there was a first-person mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something that I think gets used more prevalent in, like, the other games. But, like, in the first game, like, I didn't find myself using it too much. It just felt pretty good. Like, I just enjoyed a lot of the moments. And, like, I think it was also a thing of just appreciating the charm of what they were doing like, in 1998.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, crazy to think that it's like, this game is pretty well-rounded for a 1998
and
game.
you got to think, this is probably groundbreaking, this kind of game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For what it was, and the things that also happen in it, but we'll get to later. But, like, it's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Looks-wise, does it age well? But it's fine. Do you get what I mean? I don't have a huge problem with it.
There was like, my overall thing is that when I was going into it, I had a feeling that I wouldn't like it. For some reason, I felt like I would, because sometimes I really struggle with older visuals.
Mm-hmm. It's the common thing of, like, it's an old game. Oh, I don't want to play it because it doesn't look high-quality graphics, right?
Yeah, well, it's the kind of thing of, like, you just don't know how immersed you're going to get when people look like squares.
I get you. You play a game like Minecraft, but carry on.
Okay, well, hold on. Like, chill out, buddy. Like, hold on.
Sorry, it was too good
to
to let that go. I'm sorry,
like,
carry on.
Fucking hell. But, like, when you can barely tell, like, what you're looking at, or, like, you're looking at people's faces and they don't have a face, and, like, it's hard to get immersed in that. But, like, I really enjoyed the visual charm for some reason, of this game. Like, I think maybe the newer, because we played the remastered versions, a part of the Master Collection.
Yes.
And so they did a good job at, like, upscaling it so that, like, generally it just kind of looks like it's the visual style of the game ultimately. Like, at the time that was, like, peak graphics, but, like, now playing it nowadays, it just kind of feels like that was the visual style. Like, and there was some charm in it. Like, they used what they had effectively, and it was really funny. Like, for example, like, watching, like, the characters talk with each other. Like, they'd move their heads around and, like, because they didn't have mouths, so there's no way to, like, showcase that the character was talking. And just, like, seeing, like, the sort of more primitive animations and, like, just things like that. Just, it just kind of, like, was enjoyable. I kind of enjoyed the charm of it.
It was very creative solutions to show, like, emotion and like through body language and the animation and and, like,
through
it
the camera and stuff, like camera shakes were really utilized quite well for certain moments and scenes.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you guys found this also, but it also made me appreciate what we have, like, talking about game-wise, what we have nowadays, if you get what I mean. For example, like the saving and for my example, I tried to start playing the game on, like, the original, like, PS1.
That's a story.
Right? But then I probably lived what people in that time may have gone through of things not saving properly and having to start again, or for some reason your PlayStation unplugging or something, like, and you lose all your save or something like you've done. It's just very annoying. So it's thank God that the saving systems have improved a lot and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, I guess, going on to, like, a little bit of combat, I think the combat's fine. It's very simple, but at times it can be a bit awkward, like trying to angle your guy, Snake, to, like, punch or shoot someone in the right angle and stuff, if you get what I mean. Because he only has, like, a few options which angle he turns, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So sometimes you will miss or whatever.
I think the big thing, like, to do with that is that the game's use of, like, its perspective.
Yeah.
Like, the game locks you in a certain, like, bird's eye view kind of perspective, but it's, like, not quite bird's eye view. Like, the camera changes slightly depending on, like, the different levels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the big thing with that is trying to orient yourself and trying to think within the confines of that perspective. For, like you said, like, aiming for certain things, it's a lot harder to do in certain segments of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's certain areas where, like, you think, like, you're in the right, like, your depth perception, where you think you're hitting someone, but you might be off slightly. Like, there were moments like that where, based on the perspective of the game, you could, like, get confused or mess up in that regard. But yeah.
An aspect I really love about the game is that it does also show you how much games nowadays do spoon feed you what to do, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. That is something that I really did want to touch upon, because, like, I remember I have, for whatever reason, you know how in Inside Out, like they show you, like, you have like core memories, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, one of my core memories is me and one of my brothers were playing Sly Cooper, and one of our older brothers. They were like, video games nowadays, they just spoon feed you everything. Just, it tells you what to press at every point. Back in my day, they wouldn't tell you anything. I'll be like, all right, cool. And I never really knew what he meant until I played this fucking game. I was like, where are my weapons? How do I use my items?
What do I need to do? Where do I go?
What do I need to go? Where do I go? Like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know what I'm doing. But, like, this game doesn't spoon feed anything, really. You do have to get out of your way to, like, actually find information.
Actually pay attention.
Pay attention and stuff. Which I was warned before playing the game that by you guys that, like, it is a game that I have to actually pay attention, which I guess I struggle with every now and again. But I personally didn't find myself, like, lost in places.
Yeah.
But it was more like in the gameplay side of things. Like, for example, the diazepam or whatever the fuck it's called. The medicine to make you not tremble. I was like, I looked at it, I read it, I was like, oh, okay, it makes you not shake or something. All right, cool. I don't know why this is useful. And then I got, like, I guess going into spoilery things. I guess I don't have to spoil. Like, you get to use a sniper, and, like, you're all shaky and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? Like, why am I shaking so much? And I didn't clock the two things together because, like, they were so far apart, between me reading the diazepam thing and getting the sniper. I didn't clock the two things together. And it is a thing of, what you guys were saying. It's kind of, at the end of the day, it's my fault for not connecting the two things. But I was like, well, how do I stop myself from shaking so much? And actually, the first mission where you use, like, the sniper, I actually didn't use the diazepam. So I just kind of, like, I just completed it without, like, with all the trembles and stuff. That's how I did it. I was like, what the fuck? And then, like, I'd get shot and, like, your aim would go completely the other way. I was like, oh my fucking god. And I was like,
yeah.
But yeah, again, at the end of the day, my fault. But this is more to feed the thing that you're saying of. you don't get spoon-fed.
Yeah,
like literally anything. I don't think you get spoon-fed anything. It's just kind of characters telling you, you gotta go this way. Because, like, you gotta find out how to get somewhere somehow. It's not just, like, kind of wander about. You have to be told something. But I don't think you're spoon-fed anything in this game. Which, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's an aspect I kind of enjoyed, because when you figure it out, then you feel more accomplished.
I suppose, but I think I feel more frustrated. Like, I think I found myself getting more frustrated with being like, oh, this was... Because I don't know if I figured out a lot of those things. I think some I did, but, for example, the diazepam, I had to fucking Google it. I was like, what the fuck's happening? Why can't I find... Like, in the second time I had to use the sniper, I was like, how the fuck... Where's this bitch?
Here's the thing. Like, here's something I wanted to say, because I think it's very important to how this game and a lot of the other, like, games, like Hideo Kojima games, they are very, like, logical. Like, playing the game, you are put in the position, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they call you, at the start, you're like Naked Snake or something.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing on you, and they kind of tell you, like, at the very start when you're talking to Colonel, he's like, you know, you have nothing on this mission or whatever. It's like, you have to improvise and use what you find and how you use it. And I think the game does a very good job at putting that to perspective, because when you want to do fights, it is the thing of trying everything and doing everything you can, and that's especially prevalent with bosses, like you mentioned with diazepam or whatever it's called. Like, you can do that fight without that drug, but if you're searching through your inventory during fights and trying every possible solution, there's always a solution to the problem that is presented to you, and it's based on how you think or correlate to solve that problem. The game always, like, prompts you with a problem, and it's up to you to kind of figure out with the tools that you have what you can do to solve it. And, like, it's always a thing, and it's even like when you're just kind of exploring, right? You're kind of lost, or you're presented with, like, laser walls, for example, right? You're presented with a problem, and it's a logic thing where it presents you with a problem, and you have to figure out what the tools that you have, how can you get past this thing. And, like, the thing is, you can go in your inventory and you have cigarettes. And it's like, okay, what if I use the cigarettes? And then you use the cigarettes and the smoke shows you where the lights are. And it's like, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit. Like, you just have to come towards the game with a very open mindset and think very logically about everything that's presented for you. And it's a game where you aren't playing it and, for example, like watching something else, you are in the game. Like, you need to be locked into the game, and you are the one that needs to kind of correlate where things go and where you need to go. It's not that thing where there's a giant X mark and it's like, go here. Here's how many meters you are away from that thing. Because I think with that kind of mindset in video games, people just turn their brains off and they just go to the waypoint.
Yeah.
But with this game, it's literally like, okay, I need to think how I'm going to get to the next place. You are actively solving the problems the game has given to you. And I think is an interesting statement on the case of video games nowadays where, yeah, I think it's kind of annoying when games don't tell you certain things. Like, for example, I didn't realize how the inventory worked or the menus work until, like, I think I got to, like, the first boss or something, and then you told me, Harley, that if I press the right trigger, I have guns.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I have guns! Like, I kind of did the first portion of the game, like, without them. Like, not... Because the game never goes like, oh, use the triggers to access your inventory, or there's never, like, a tutorial. You always kind of just go through it, and, like, using the codec, people can kind of give you advice and stuff. And it literally depends on how you are approaching the problem. For example, when you get lost and you need help, you can always call your master, and he's like, he gives you information on the environment and things around you that you can use. Or there was someone that you can call to talk about weapons and how you can utilize the weapons. Like, there are things there that show you what you can do. It doesn't just spoon feed. It's like, press this. Like, every time you go to a door, there isn't a button that just says press Y or something. It tells you to press Y at the start of the game, and then you take that forward going into it. And I think what's cool about that is it helps build immersion.
Yeah.
Because it's not a giant interaction button on everything in the game. It's just you use the buttons and the world and the environment interacts with how you interact with it. And that was really cool. Like going up to doors or going up to the elevator and like just kind of actually interacting with the elevator was really cool.
Yeah.
Like just that little thing, like stuff like that helps really build immersion into the game. I think like a funny thing, like a funny like story about that is like when you first get into the game and you're like really immersed and like they're telling you all of this high tech like military, code names and things like that, and you're talking about like nuclear rockets and IBMs and shit like that, and then it goes, and then you get a call on the codec like when you get out of the first cutscene, he's like, use the action button to do this, and then you're like, it's just really funny like hearing the characters in game speak to you directly from the game, like a game that's so self-aware.
Oh well, should we get on to that? Because I think that's a good segue.
Yeah, like it's great.
Getting into spoiler stuff now.
So spoiler territory now. So one of the reasons I also love this game is the strange little niche like quirks and funny things it has of the self-awareness and the breaking the fourth wall and the different things of beating certain bosses and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That is what I love about this game.
Problem solving.
Yeah. And like for example, what one could be? Yeah, when you said the action, like press the action button, blah blah blah, and especially when it goes off to a boss, one of the bosses, it's like their music stops, and then the character's like, "Where's the music gone? That's strange," kind of thing, and and stuff like that. But yeah,
there's a little the Hideo Kojima element,
the humor
to games. It's the self-awareness and the humor that kind of he implements into the game that I don't see utilized in any other games. I don't see any other games. I think the only thing that came close was like, well, two things. One game that was what's it called, Battle Block Theater.
Yeah.
And then like the fucking Deadpool game that has faded into obscurity. There's the only other two like blatantly self-aware games that like are really like good at kind of just the whole like comedy aspect and the quirkiness of like it being a game and kind of the weird like elements of just funny things you can do, like the when you call Meryl and you're talking to the guy, the president guy or whatever, and he's like, oh, her thing is I forgot.
Yeah.
It's just like, uh-oh, I forgot.
But I think the code is actually on the back of the game's disc.
The game case. Yeah. It's like shit like that. That's just really funny. That just kind of is so blatantly self-aware, but like it just makes you laugh and just kind of have a good time. And like the game, like I was thinking when I was playing it, I was like, oh shit, I don't have the fucking case. I'm fucked. I don't know how to call this person. But like the remaster does a good job at like just kind of implementing those features. For example, there's like a digital manual and a digital CD case that you can look at. And that was really cool because they still kept everything that you could use to keep yourself immersed, even if you didn't have like the actual CD case.
Yeah.
Which is funny because in our case, we actually had it.
Yeah.
We actually have the original Metal Gear Solid 1 CD case, and so I grabbed the CD case and looked at the back of the CD case.
You see the codec really image of Meryl and the number you need to put in, which I think is so fun and clever. And I think if I ever go to make a video game like that, I would love to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the answer to this puzzle is on the game case. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that's the only game I've ever played where the solution to the problem was on the like thing you bought.
Yeah.
Because once you buy the game case, you never look at that shit ever again.
Yeah.
But like this is an actual game that made you look at it again and like actually read like all the stuff like on the back of the game case and shit. It was so fun.
Yeah. Shall we I want to talk about the characters as well and your guys' opinions on them. And then edging on more to the bosses, but I think I love most of these characters in the game.
Yeah.
I think the bosses all have their own memorable identities and what they do. I think for what it was and the dialogue, there are some good moments in it character-wise, especially for like Meryl and Snake, and even the bosses, the villains, which we'll get to more. But like, and I guess narrative-wise, I did generally enjoy it. Granted, I mean, Hideo Kojima is infamous for his cutscenes being fucking long.
Holy shit.
Yes.
And I mean, a lot of people say, you know, he should just make a movie.
Which he is.
Yes. Which is exciting. But yeah, but having these long scenes and feeling like, you know, you're seeing these characters grown in this one game and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if anyone wants to add to that, but I thought all the characters were very good and memorable.
My favorite pairing in the game, for whatever reason, I don't know why, is Sniper Wolf and I forgot Otacon?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's because like we never actually see Sniper Wolf being like nice or a good person. I mean, she has the little dying speech or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like you just believe that she is a nice person just because of Otacon.
Yeah.
And I love that it didn't make Otacon being like, you killed her, no, I kill you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad that wasn't like a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like their whole thing was very cute, I found. I don't know why, but I have quite a dislike, but maybe it's a good thing, and probably it isn't fair to Naomi or whatever her name is.
Right.
Kind of like, you betrayed me, bitch. What the fuck? But to be fair, that's so many characters betrayed this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Even the Colonel, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot of cool little relationships like that like throughout the game. I think you Tyler, you said that was like, you just thought it was this fucking little mission, but it's everything has to do with Snake somehow. It's like, what the fuck? How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, it all evolves and all like everything spirals.
And the world builds from this one little mission. It's
but it was actually quite cool to see these characters being so involved with Snake, even though Snake had never met most of them.
Yeah.
Or he was retired. He was retired, right?
Yeah,
Snake
something
is
like that.
Retired, technically. Yeah, but yeah, no. Those two in particular, I was a big fan of. But and I can probably guess which one's Tyler's favorite. I think.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
but like,
yeah.
Let me talk, right? let me yap for a little bit.
Okay.
I think the first blaring thing that I think is very obvious with this game and its characters is definitely got 80s action movie elements, right? Mm-hmm. I think this has got very heavy like anime vibes. Like, I mean, it's even to a point where it's literally fucking referenced in the game that the Metal Gears are inspired by fucking Gundams. Like, it's literally, there are clear anime references, and I think like it's a very like kind of the way the character writing sort of works kind of really harkened to me, like. And I really put like that and like anime together. Like there were a lot of moments where I was like, yeah, this is very like, this is like an anime scene. I feel like there were a lot of moments. I really liked all the characters. I liked the depth that like each and every character brought into the game. Even the fucking person that saves your game, like had things.
Yeah.
Like it was really cool to just kind of see. Obviously, the game's aged a little bit, and it's like, you know, maybe like viewpoints towards certain like a bit of sexualization towards certain characters and whatnot. You know, it gets worse as the games go on, let's be honest. Yeah, like there are moments like that are sort of like they exist. But yeah, man, I think the characters I liked the most, I actually really liked Naomi in the end, and like her whole character arc. Snake obviously is really cool. I think they could have done maybe a bit more with Liquid.
I agree.
I feel like I think everything with Liquid gets shown to you too much at the end.
Yeah.
And they don't do a good job at building it up as the game goes on. That's the only problem I had with Liquid. And then obviously my most favorite character is Grey Fox.
Yeah. Yep. Could have seen from miles away.
What I really liked about Grey Fox was like the way they portray the relationship between Naomi and Grey Fox, and then how like Snake gets involved with that. Like the end cutscene of the game, Grey Fox in the final battle shows up and like saves you and like sacrifices himself, and he gives you that sort of like this tragic speech of what he did Like, it was a really cool reveal, kind of showing off that he was actually the one that killed Naomi's parents. And I think what was really cool and, like, was one of my favorite character moments for Snake was the bit at the end when Snake consciously chooses not to tell Naomi what Grey Fox said, when he's like, oh, tell Naomi that I was the one that killed her parents. Like, but Snake consciously chooses not to tell him to not taint, like, her image of Grey Fox, because she loved him. Like, they were family, and that, like, conscious decision at the end, like, that shit made me, like, deeply affected. Like that made me quite emotional. Like, I really liked that scene and the way they portrayed Snake there, and the relationship between Grey Fox and Naomi. And Naomi's speech at the end, I can't remember it verbatim, but like it talked very much about how, like, what are we fighting for, kind of thing. And like, each character and each boss that you face has their own viewpoint and their own standpoint behind what they fight for. And I think that was a really cool thing with the characters, that they all felt deeply like connected and written in how they showed their worldview. Like, there's extended cutscenes always at the end of the fights, which I think is very, like, drawn from anime, when it's like the kind of, you get the tragic backstory or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like, Psycho Mantis was a really cool, like, one. Sniper Wolf, like, showing how these people, this is what they chose with the life that they had. But I really liked the message. I also never expected this game to have such a anti-war message.
Yeah.
I think it's very prevalent in, like, army games or, like, military games, is that, like, they don't really have that human element, as far as I've seen from the games that I've played, that kind of push forward a bit of that narrative.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of it is people just like, oh, I really want to shoot guns and be a military guy. But, like, what a game that on the outside pushes this idea of, like, the 80s action hero kind of vibe. Like, at the end, pushes forward this deep anti-war, anti-nuclear war, like, you know, they really go through the consequences of war and nuclear war, and they show real life footage in the game, like, of the effects, and at the end of the game, real life statistics.
Yeah.
And shit like that really affected me, because it had a really deep message to it. And I think stuff like that is really prevalent in today.
Yeah.
You know, we've
and even back when it came out.
Yeah.
As well.
It really spoke volumes to how that message is somehow timeless. In how the same problems that they were being fought for then is still happening now.
Yeah.
Like, was a bit of a heavy thing. But I think one of those, that whole message and that being pushed in the game was really cool to see. That this game wasn't just like, oh, be an action hero or whatever. It really showed the realities of war.
Yeah.
Behind its facade of, like, this funny, quirky game, like, actually had a deep and powerful message behind it. And I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah. On a brighter note, can we talk about the boss battles of this game? I want to talk about...
Yes. I have one in particular that I want to ask how you guys did. But
should we go through them in order? Or
yeah, let's go in order. I'll ask when we get to it.
Okay. All right, so the first major boss was Revolver Ocelot. Now, the common thing in these boss battles is they can seem quite difficult, but there is an easy way to kill most of them, and that's what I love about the game.
I don't know what the easy one is. I was so annoyed with that fucking boss. It's like, I'm chasing them. I'm trying to shoot every now and again. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna fucker again.
Yeah. So, I mean, the premise was you just had to chase him round a circle. But obviously there were some moments where he could just shoot the wall and just shoot you, you know? And that sucked. So I'll tell you the secret of getting out of that is you make your moves irregular. What I mean is that actually go serpentine back and forth at random irregular points. That way he can't read your moves and can't shoot you.
Right. Okay.
There you go.
Cool. I guess.
I mean,
and then
it's also the obvious thing with Ocelot as well, is when Ocelot runs out of bullets. He goes to reload.
Yeah.
Shoot him when he's reloading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was that's the best stratagem to defeat him. It's not as complicated or wows, but it's like simple logic of just bob and weave and you'll be fine. And don't just circle him round and round and keep chasing him because he will just shoot you.
Yeah, it just kind of showed you the thing of like he flexes the idea of like being able to shoot you from whenever and whatever, and it's a gunfight, and it's just like, well, when's the best time to shoot someone in a gunfight? When they've run out of ammo.
Yeah.
It's like just basic stuff like that. That was fun.
Yeah, and then the one after that is Raven, right? The tank one?
Falcon Raven, the tank, yeah. Which
I admit is a ball ache to get to, but to be honest, once you're up close to that tank, it's quite easy.
Yeah, no, it was quite a... Well, it's weird, because I remember watching you fight it, and you had quite some troubles with walking into the mines and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I remember what I did, which somehow didn't work for you, is that, like, I saw the tyre tracks, I walked on the tyre track, and then walked on this other smudge and just kind of, like, took it slowly. And I literally just, like, somehow managed to get past all the mines, and then literally the fight was easy from that point.
Wait, did you guys not find the mine detector?
No.
I didn't, at the time, no, we didn't have the mine detector. But you can get the mine detector for that.
And that will help you get it, yeah.
I just kind of, like, I think I spoke with Nastasha, which is the person who tells you about the weapons and stuff. And she was like, oh, there's mines around. Be careful. If you find a mine detector, you'll be Gucci. I'll be like, okay, where did I find this? And I just kind of went around and found one. Interesting.
And you can also just probe over the claymores and pick them up.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is something I found out at the end of the game.
Wow.
But yeah.
I kind of struggled with that one just because I don't know how you guys defeated him, but I just kind of stood I approached, obviously, I used chaff grenades to approach, and then but I struggled with aiming the grenades at him, or like inside or in the correct
so it lands on top, right? Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, because or sometimes it would land on top, but it wouldn't deal damage. And I'm like, oh, what? Why? But I guess it wasn't like inside of the
or close enough, I guess.
Not close. Yeah, I don't know, but if it like
close enough.
But it really, or at least it really felt like it was close, like really close. But I mean, again, maybe it wasn't. But yeah, that one was okay.
Yeah, and then I think the next one is personally my favourite boss battle of the whole game, and probably boss battles of all time. Is Psycho Mantis.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, first off, the build up to the boss.
Isn't it Grey Fox first?
Oh no, it is Grey. Is it Grey Fox first?
You fight Grey Fox, then you fight Mantis because you go Meryl, and then you go.
Oh, you're so right. Okay, we'll save Psycho. Grey Fox.
Fake fan.
Grey Fox. So I mean, even his introduction, the cutscene in the hallway, is fantastic and stuff, and very eerie with Grey Fox.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you see him first after Ocelot.
Yeah, he just pulls in, fucking chops off fucker's arm, and then just runs away.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, and then I mean that boss battle was easy once you figure out what you need to do, and it's like just beat the shit out of them pretty much and not use guns.
Yeah, yeah. That I don't think I struggled too much with that one. Tyler also watched me fight him, but I don't think it took me like, even if you didn't tell me. Oh, I mean, I don't think you even told me all that much.
I didn't tell you anything. All I just kept saying was the line that he keeps repeating, which was just, "You can't fight me with weapons like that, Snake." Yeah. And then you just going, "What the fuck does that mean?"
No. Oh, I think it was because I was using because I was like, oh, this guy uses stack and shit. I was like, I'll use a chaff grenade, and that actually worked. So I was like, what do you mean by that? My things are working. So what do you mean?
But you're running around like being like, but it gives me ammo.
I was like, it's giving me ammo. So why the fuck am I not using a weapon? It was good, but it was pretty simple fight, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And now
that was for me the hardest boss.
Yeah,
I think in my playthrough, because the melee damage, I don't know if it's different depending on difficulty, but like I just felt like I was doing nothing, and so when I initially punched him to kind of get past the whole gun thing, right, I was like, oh, this is shit. This isn't actually the way you're supposed to do it, because you deal no damage. So then I just didn't do it, and then eventually I was like, all right, I guess I'll have to just punch him. And then I punched him all the way until the end. But yeah, the Grey Fox fight was really difficult for me, and I've heard that it's very difficult for, like, in general. Like, I remember at the time I was looking up on, like, Reddit and stuff, and people were like, yeah, this boss made me quit the game. Like,
fuck.
People struggled on Grey Fox.
Man.
I guess thank God I did on easy then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now, back to my favourite boss of the game, Psycho Mantis. I mean, as I was saying, the build-up of what we were talking before, where it's like, oh, the music's gone off, and it gets all a bit eerie, and the characters are like, what's happened to the mute, like, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then kind of starting to break the fourth wall a bit, and then when you're introduced, and then the music starts playing, it's like, oh my god, he's playing his mind control music, and stuff. And then, I mean, the main features of Psycho Mantis basically it didn't really work as well for us playing it, which is a shame. But on the PlayStation, Psycho Mantis would boast and show off his psychokinetic powers, which you can tell, like, he could read your mind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he would read your memory card on your PlayStation and tell you what games you've been playing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So it's like, oh, I can read your mind, I know what you're doing, and this is what you've done. Like, I can tell your past. You played this game.
Final Fantasy VII and Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And that shit is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
sick.
really cool.
And you can do it on PC, like, if you were doing it, you know where you're doing it for, but it's when you load up to the game, you can edit your save data, and you can add shit there, and then he'll just say, oh, you've played another Konami games, crazy.
Yeah. Which is cool.
I'll be honest, I did know bits about this boss in particular. I knew, because, like,
it's quite
one of those
infamous,
things, like,
to be fair.
I knew you had to change your control, but I was like, how the fuck do you change your control? But there's, like, a specific way you do it. But apparently you don't need to do that, apparently,
really?
To actually defeat the boss. Yeah, because,
just
like,
make it harder for yourself.
yeah. Just make it like you get, like, a hit every, like, a minute or something,
right?
But technically you don't need to do it, which goes back to what Tyler was saying of, like, you have all these tools and you can use them, but you don't have to.
Yeah, it's literally all depends on how you problem solve.
And there's a thing of these bosses are difficult, but there's always an easier way if you figure out to beat them much more quickly and easily as well. But another thing I wanted to mention before we carry on with that boss is just the where he shows off his powers with the controller.
Oh yeah,
and moving that left to right or whatever, or back up and down, which is kind of cool.
It's cool.
I'll be honest, mine didn't really move because I used my PlayStation 5 controller, and I think it's too heavy.
I said this.
Heavy.
This didn't work for us because our controllers are too heavy and it's not the same anymore. Like, back in the day, it would have worked. But it didn't
PlayStation
work,
1 controllers and PlayStation 2 a lot lighter.
You'd put it down on the table and it would move your controller on your. It's very cool. And
it's cute. It's cute, and I understood what they were trying to do.
Yeah,
which was cute.
And I mean, a game's never really done that before, and I can't think of a game that's done that since. But that might be wrong. But it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But with that boss in particular, I really also liked how they were implemented into the story and how they messed with, like, the love interest Meryl and stuff. How, like, it showed that Snake actually kind of cares about this lady. He's like, I don't care about anyone else other than myself. I only like your butt and stuff. But yeah, no.
And then the logic to changing ports from PlayStation 2 is because why would you put your controller in a player 2 slot, idiot?
Yeah. Remember when there were slots for controllers? Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah. So then he can
wires
read your moves and you can just kill him easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then that was that. And then what's the boss battle after that?
Sniper Wolf.
Sniper Wolf. Yeah. And we mentioned that a bit briefly.
Yeah, bro, that one doing it without the pen, that shit was I
will say my statement on the sniper is I fucking hate that sniper with a burning passion.
Yeah,
I remember doing that sniper is fucking nightmare to use.
Let's not forget we couldn't do the boss battle without finding the sniper rifle. So classic.
You had to go back.
Classic gimmick. You had to go back throughout the game.
Way back.
To find the sniper and then come all the way back. To be fair, it wasn't that long because the map isn't that big. But you think about it as I've got to go all the way back there.
Yeah,
but it's cool. Also funny that, like, on the lead up to it, like, there's this little clearing area, And fucking Meryl is like, oh, I know how to get past this bit. And she does this crazy path.
Yeah.
But, like, if you just stick to the right, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are actual minds in it.
I don't think so.
Maybe. But if there are, I just thought, oh, wait, she just stays to the right. And at the end of it, cool. That's what I'll do. But yeah... going back for the sniper and then coming back, having to go through the wolves and shit.
Yeah. And then
I think what was cool about that, which I think they could have leaned into more, is it did kind of like give off kind of like Metroidvania elements, where it's like, oh, going back to previously explored areas to get things to beat newer areas. I think what could have been better for that is if you had things happen when you were going back.
Right.
So for example, if you went to go back to get the sniper, it would have been cool to put maybe a fight there. Like, maybe the rematch with Vulcan Raven should have happened then, when you're going back to get the sniper back in that snowfield. Like, you go back to that snowfield, and then you fight him again. I thought that would be really cool, because then it did just kind of connect everything a lot more, and, like, your knowledge of the surroundings just kind of change. But that was really cool, like, being more familiar and, like, getting more comfortable. It's like, yeah, I know this whole charade now, and just, like, walking back with the complete confidence is quite funny.
Yeah.
Like, to previously explored areas was really fun.
But yeah, fitting sniper without diazepam was fucking
I could imagine.
Painful, man.
Yeah, and when you get shot, having the sniper just move like 100 million meters the other way, and then you have to slowly guide it back, and she shoots you when you're doing that, so then it gets reset again.
And she's hiding behind a pillow, like, easily, sometimes for like 30 seconds. And like, I'm aiming to the left side of her, because I'm thinking, okay, that's where she's going.
And she goes right.
And she goes right, or she goes right, and then, like, in the middle of, like, she stops and goes right again, and it's like, oh my fucking god. And, or, like, sometimes the sniper would stable a little bit, and as soon as she peeks, like, my sniper just goes, no, it's like, But I think that was probably my least favorite, both because, like, the diazepam, I didn't use that, but again, that's my fault. But I also just think it's a bit boring, and I hate using the sniper. I think, in comparison to a future one, I think this one is a lot more boring.
I think out of all of them, the Sniper Wolf one is one of the weakest ones. I think the weakest one is the Vulcan Raven, like the first Vulcan Raven one.
Yeah.
And the last Vulcan Raven one was kind of just meh.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the only thing I liked about the Sniper Wolf, the first one, was like, oh shit, she shot Meryl and shit. That's great.
Yeah, and I like that when you leave the area and come back, Meryl's gone. Like that stuff's really cool, because I remember freaking out because I thought I fucked it up.
Yeah.
When I came back, and I was like, oh, is she dead now? And I was like, oh fuck, I've messed it up. And I was like really pissed, because I was like, I genuinely thought was supposed to do it within a certain time or something, and like she died. But no, there's reasons for that.
Next.
What's the next boss after that?
Is it
getting
again?
tortured.
Yeah, it's getting tortured. That is the boss battle in itself, yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Mashing that button to save your fucking life. I've never been more scared in my life. Because they never preface to you what it means by game over, that like, game over, my friend, there's no retries. I thought it was going to delete my save. I was genuinely terrified.
It says, what it says, the guy says, if you die here, because I hadn't saved in a while, because I'm not, like in comparison, for example, to Tyler, I don't save as much as he does. Not saying that,
well, the thing is, the game force saves after the sniper fight.
Yeah.
Which is the last save you would ever have.
But I didn't save, like, before, or, like, I don't think, the last time I had saved was before I went to get a sniper. I think that's when last I had saved, right?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I need to go get a sniper, I'm going to save here.
When you beat Sniper Wolf, you get called by the save person. She goes, I think it's time to save Snake, and they force you to save the game.
Oh, I don't know if I got that.
Because when you get tortured, like, it would suck, because that means you'd have to go all the way
I don't
back.
think I got that. I legit, I don't think I got that.
Oh, you might have maybe just clicked
save.
No, I'm okay.
Because I didn't get that either. I don't think I just saved naturally.
Really?
Yeah. I think you get different things, definitely.
I got caught by her after the fight, and she goes, Snake, I think it's a good point to save the game. I'm like, alright.
I didn't get that. So basically with that other guy, I think it's Ocelot again. What Ocelot says is like, there's no more continues if you die. So basically saying, because when it shows game over, it says continue or retry. So if you click retry, it says continue or exit, sorry. If you click exit, when you load back, you go back to your latest save, right? Mm-hmm. Supposedly. And I was shitting myself because he also said, you haven't saved in a while, eh? Well, there's no continues. I was like, oh shit, okay. But the first time you go through the torture bit is quite simple. And one of the times the way I was mashing my controller, I accidentally touched the touchpad, saying that you you're giving up. So I just went back, exited, and did it again, because I was like, I don't know what happens when you give up, but it's probably not good.
Yeah, I was terrified. I think that whole segment of the game is really cool because it's a genuine torture scenario.
Yeah.
Especially because they keep ramping up the difficulty. My hands hurt after that torture sequence. Genuinely, you have to fight for your life. Yeah. And I've never seen a game actually put you through a fucking torture sequence. Actually, in real life.
Back to your point of immersion.
The immersion was crazy, but that whole bit, I just remember being shit terrified because I remember Googling it during the cutscene because I was like, oh my god, what is it gonna do? Delete my save? What the fuck does it mean? No retries. He was just I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Because they don't add any other context to it. He's just like, you only got one shot, buddy. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
Could you imagine if you never saved and it took you all the way from the beginning of the game?
I mean, yeah.
That would be crazy. Yeah, what's the next one?
The helicopter boss.
The Hind.
Liquid.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
I prefer the RPG you use in that one.
I found it annoying when they started going underneath the building and you just had to wait for them to pop up. That was the annoying part I hated about that fight.
What I hated about the fight was that maybe I just did it. I don't know. I feel like I did it the way you're supposed to, which is just use that rocket and then wait for it to come up and then just shoot it. Yeah. But that just felt wrong to me. I felt like there could have been something else I could have been doing.
It's more of a waiting game.
Really long. I remember playing that fight for a really long time, and I only really gave it 2 tries or something because I think the first try I'd immediately took damage and I had no health. But the second try when I was doing it, I just remember being there for actually a full 15 minutes. I'm just like, this takes so long. And I remember being I must be doing something wrong because normally that's the thing with these games, or with when I was playing it, is that when it took long, I felt there must be the solution to make it faster. And don't get me wrong, there are cases where that is the case, but I had to learn that oh no, it just does take a long time. It's just pacing of boss fights are different, I guess, nowadays. But yeah, man, it took a while, and I remember just being that fight was alright.
Yeah. What's the next one?
After that is Sniper Wolf Part 2, which is tricky if you don't have any, what's the word, the drug? The dark type?
Isn't it Raven?
No.
No, you fight Raven after.
Yeah.
Is it after? Right. Oh yeah, that's the one where I actually start using it. But I also, in that fight, it took me so long to actually find her.
Yeah.
Is that's the point, right? Okay.
Yeah, but then once you find her, it's kind of easy because you just follow her.
It's kind of easy. You just follow her.
I just kind of used the thermal goggles.
Yeah.
I never found the thermal goggles.
Yeah, it's a thing. The thermal goggles are always a thing in the games where you can find them very early on or you find them very late. Because, for example, you can find, before you meet the DARPA chief, you can find the thermal goggles in the first area of the game.
Right.
And there's many other things like that, certain tools or the gas mask or just other shit in general, where it's just you need to find this here and it will come in handy later, and if you just miss it, it kind of just makes things a lot harder.
Yeah, I just missed it.
I found that and I was using that, but I didn't have any diazepam, so that really sucked for my second fight. Yeah, I really like that fight. I think I preferred that one more to the original Sniper Wolf fight, and I think it has a better ending, like a way better ending.
I mean, yeah, you get her backstory and stuff. The thing with Otacon,
and then you have Vulcan Raven.
That's the one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, of course.
I'm curious. I'm curious on how you guys actually defeated him, because I was actually, maybe this is just the way you do it, but I was quite happy with the way I defeated him. The way I did it. I used the landmines.
Yeah, same.
And the rocket launcher thing. I used both of that.
Yeah,
both of the things.
Yeah, that's the
game
way
gives you it. What's it called? Then is it the Nikita launcher? I forgot what it is.
There's Nikita one and the Stinger.
It gives you. I think it's the Nikita one that they give you ammo for in that fight. And it's like, oh, okay, they just want me to use this. But I remember, like, having... In the previous fight, when you beat Sniper Wolf for a second time, there's a bunch of containers around the outside of that boss fight. And they're full of fucking claymores. There are so many claymores. And I remember getting all of those claymores, just, like, for the fun of it. And then I remember entering the Vulcan fight, and I'm like, I'm fucking using these. Because you can, like, trick the boss into walking in a certain pattern. And so you can always, like... predict kind of where they're gonna go. And I think what I liked about this fight is that one, there was that predictability element where you can kind of path out the boss's path, and then you can put mines and trip them up. And then also the way they update the stage as the fight goes on, where it like destroys the containers and they fall down, and like things and other paths you would normally use get blocked off. That was what I liked about the Vulcan Raven fight.
Yeah,
was that element where it was like, oh shit, the map is like, the arena is changing actively based on what you're doing and stuff. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I think that fight was one of the first, or maybe not the first, but one of the times I was like, yo, I figured this out by myself. That's sick.
Yeah.
I think, was one of the first times that I did that, so it was cool.
I think the next one's just Rex, no?
Yeah, it's Rex, and then Liquid.
Yeah.
Rex.
Rex was alright.
Rex?
Yeah.
Right? It was more like Big Boom Blast.
Yeah, pretty
Big
much.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And
here's the thing with Rex.
It's fine.
Which I think is interesting. I remember, like, my story of fighting it was that it was like midnight, and I just started fighting the boss, and I didn't want to go to sleep late. But I was like, I don't want to quit the game here because I don't know when it will save. Like, I don't know what it will previously save. Like, I wanted to beat the game in that, like, sitting. Because I beat the game in 2 days. And I remember playing it and I was like, oh, if I beat Rex, like, what? Because you have to fight the boss immediately after Rex. I was like, holy shit. Am I going to have to redo Rex, like, again? And shit. So I was panicking. But... the thing with the Rex fight, because I remember doing a lot of research, because Rex kept kicking my ass when I played it for the first time, and it was really hard. And I remember googling, and it's like a fun fact with the Rex fight that on easy mode, like, you can use chaff grenades, and it just like disables the fucking thing.
No, I didn't know that.
It just fucking falls, like, stops working, whatever the fuck. But in normal mode, that does fuck all. He's just like, he just tanks it. Like, I think I can't remember if he's like slightly slower or some shit, but that's it. Like, I remember googling, like, because I remember being like, what am I missing with this fight? Like, what am I not getting? And it's just kind of like, you just gotta shoot him. And I was like, okay.
Just do it, man.
But I fully telegraphed that boss, and now I know every one of its movement patterns, because I genuinely watched like I genuinely researched, because I kept dying and I didn't really understand it, and so it got to the point where I fully learned the boss's moveset.
Yeah, I didn't know the thing about the chaff grenade. I just kind of tanked it. I was like, I tanked it. Had a bunch of rations.
Yeah, for me, I had no rations, right? And I was like half HP, and like it was this kind of thing like you have to just use what you have in the arena, and I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, but the final fight is fucking sick.
Best fight.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's the best fight.
Yeah.
Is Liquid.
That was sick. That was sick. Just like everything stripped from you. You have nothing. Like from the entire game, just punching your way through things was never really a good solution. Yeah. So like, it was kind of, I guess, to knock people out so you can run and hide for a little bit. But this time, it's just your
good
fists,
old-fashioned fisticuffs.
And your brother.
Yeah, fighting brother!
And like it was quite an easy fight, but I thought it was fucking like fighting on top of Metal Gear.
Yeah. That so shit is sick. Badass.
Yeah, man. And it's the thing of like if you fall, you die and shit. It's like I was like, I'm not.
And it was
fucking
timed. You had
falling.
to do it in like a certain amount of time. You know.
Yeah,
it's such a cool fight. Here's the thing: people also with that fight, people also hate that fight because the people struggled with that one as well. Like,
well, it's a skill issue. I don't know.
And it's the thing of like I love everything about that fight. One, it's like the perfect like 80s, like I said, like 80s movie, like classic action hero end where they're just both shirtless, like ripped, and like they're like all sweating, and it's like everything's on fire and everything's just like punching each other, like they're all just like, it's like the classic 80s movie climax scene, like Terminator. Like when the fucking Terminator locks in. But, like, you just fighting your brother on the top of Metal Gear X was fucking badass. And I love that you could, like, push each other off and then you'd climb back on and shit. Like, that was sick.
Yeah.
I'd love just, like... And all of the previous, like, knowledge of punch, kick... You like master punch kick at the end of the game, like because you have to use that to defeat Grey Fox, and then you finally use it again, like you've mastered punch kick technique to like fight this boss because he's really good because he can counter you and like flip you over and shit. Like, he can properly fuck you up,
fucking headbutt you and get you, you know.
Yeah, and then he does like a charge as well that has like a difficult hitbox as well. Like he fucking locks in if you're not careful.
I think
fight is sick.
Yeah, I think Kojima does well setting up the stakes, especially for like the last, but like the climax of his stories and stuff, and it is very prevalent throughout the series.
I will say one thing that did annoy me was the car chase afterwards.
Yeah,
it was cool, but it was like it's so clunky.
Cool. But I would have preferred if once you defeat Liquid, that was it. He didn't come back in a silly car chase.
Yeah,
because realistically, he should have died.
He's dead. Fall. He fucking died, brother.
Because it was cool, him screaming his the snare, and he falls. That's it. And then you just leave, and then maybe do that chase. But like,
I know sometimes in movies there's like it's like they cannot explain how they've come back. Right?
Yeah, classic trope. Yeah,
but I would have preferred if it was like maybe he's at the end of the tunnel instead of the car chase.
Or what makes more sense to me if it was Ocelot.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want Ocelot to be the last guy. Like, I was glad it was... I was glad that Liquid was the last one you actually fought.
I didn't think that car chase.
It could have just been goons. It could have just been goons.
Yeah.
Genome soldier, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's literally just that classic. Like, we've got to escape. Everything's gonna explode. And then it's like that final chase thing. It would have been cool. Like I definitely agree with you. I think it would have been cool if the final fight with Liquid was on the Rex, but I don't really give a shit about the car anyway. And that's when I discovered there was a first person mode at the end of the game.
Right.
Because you could just enter first person mode on the turret and the
can you? I didn't know that.
It's immediately easier because it's very the perception of that fight without first person was really confusing.
It was. I didn't know about that shit.
And I remember almost dying, and I was fucking shitting bricks because I was like, don't tell me I'm gonna have to fight Rex, Liquid, and this again. I was, because I hadn't died at that point, and I was shitting myself. And I just remember getting through it, and it was amazing.
I can confirm that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
What was the one that died? Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I know, and that's what's funny because I was shitting bricks, because the game. Sometimes you just don't really know when you're gonna come back. It's just genuinely you'd never know. And
also, the game just dares not give you more than one ration before that fucking car chase. It just gives you one ration.
Yeah, it gives you one.
You did 2 fucking boss battles.
Bosses in a row.
Insane.
It is crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, and then that's the game. And then you go off into the sunset and see whatever the fucking that animal is randomly.
Was it a deer or something?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. And
I think it symbolised something. I forgot
what it was, but I just love that it was just it's that symbolises this. So yeah, It's great. And then also I find fucking hilarious that they've gone down this mountain and conveniently there's a fucking, what's it called, a bike there. Just, there we go. Let's go right off into the sunset.
Again, it's classic 80s action hero. It's like, don't worry, we've got the thing so you can ride off into the sunset. And it's like, all right, bet. And then you just ride off.
But yeah, that was Metal Gear. That was Metal Gear.
Is it worth the money?
The collection set for Metal Gear, and then there's another Metal Gear 2, and the Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is £50 for all of them. But you can buy them separately. Okay,
I think I'll say it's worth the amount that it is. I will say, and I want to be very honest, I didn't say it throughout the podcast, I want to be very honest. Mm-hmm. I think if I had played this when the game came out, and I wasn't born in 1998, if I was a little kid in 1998, I probably would have dropped this game.
I think most people did. I probably did.
This is something, I'm very privileged, and being in a time where there's so much information about this game, where I was able to get through it, and also had you two guys to help me through some bits. But I would probably drop this. But I did love the game, and I think it's worth that price. As I said earlier, the age kind of dies out when you realize how ageless it actually is. Through the story, and even though the game mechanics are quite old school, it once you get the hang of it, you're kind of alright. So
it's a timeless classic, to say the least. So should we score this bad boy?
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll give this guy an 8. It's an 8 for me.
I
agree.
An
8 for me.
This game is an 8.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay. So that's what, a 8.5? 8.5?
Yeah.
8.5?
There you go.
8.5. That sounds reasonable.
That's
Metal Gear Solid is an 8.5 and the chillin' 0 out of 10 score.
Cool.
And I just want to say, guys, good job, guys. You beat a chilling game.
We all did it. We all did actually manage to beat it. Yeah.
Is this the first time?
I'm really proud. I'm really proud of you guys.
And also, there's the small factor is I love playing a game that was actually shorter.
Yeah.
In length.
Yeah, it was great.
But no, I'm not done.
Shit.
You know, I'm really proud of you guys, but in typical chilling fashion, I had to show you up. I had to put you to shame again. So I'm pleased to announce not only did I beat Metal Gear Solid 1, I also beat Metal Gear Solid 2.
What?
No,
and I am halfway through Metal Gear Solid 3.
What the fuck?
Jesus fucking Christ. This guy is insane.
Good job, guys. Which one's unemployed? Let's find out.
Good job, guys. You really tried it your best. I'm really proud of you, but I have also beat...
Go fuck yourself.
Well...
and they're all amazing.
Well, Tyler might as well say what the next game is. Go on.
Oh, shall I?
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've mentioned it quite often on this podcast. Yes. It comes up almost every episode. I think I've noticed.
It hasn't this time. Well, now.
It has.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We are approaching. I believe the game's approaching its 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure, but the next game for Chill In is, drumroll please, Baldur's Gate 3.
Wow. We're doing it.
From the oldest game to the newest game.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. This is going to be a hefty episode, and I wouldn't be surprised if it fucking doubles the length of this one, because there's going to be a lot to go through, and I think there's going to be a lot that we're going to need to talk about and cover. But
to be clear, we're going to be playing a multiplayer campaign.
Yeah.
All of us together. It's not going to be individual adventures. It's going to be one with all three of us, our individual characters that we've already created, and we're in the process of completing the campaign.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys like it.
That's also something to mention. Not only are we playing this game for 1 month, we've dedicated 2 months to this game.
Yeah.
So we're hopefully planning to beat the game. That's the goal. Hopefully we do. I think the format of next episode might be a little bit different based on us talking about our experience with the game. So look out for that. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you really, if you like the pod, you like us, do what we said in the beginning. Like, comment, share. subscribe.
Check out
always is appreciated.
Other videos, and especially Tyler's first deep dive. Go check that out. Hell yeah.
Check out the deep dive. Check out our other podcasts if you're interested.
Maybe keep your eyes peeled for more content. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
And with that all said and done, we've been chilling, and you chill out.
Chill out. Yeah, I did it this time.
Right, okay.
I'm getting it.
All right, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.